It's time for the NBA, live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke reporting on the sidelines.
Nice game, huh?
Here in Houston, it's another home game for the Rockets. This game against Brooklyn here, it's their first look at the Nets. They controlled everything in both games last year, going 2-0.
Yeah, and taking on an interconference foe, certainly not a rival. They're the better team, and they showed it, winning both matchups last season.
Right you are. I mean, winning the games they were supposed to win. No doubt they'll look to continue that tonight.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. Setting the floor for the Nets. We've got Johnson. Wayne Ellington is out there with Shane Larkin. Then it's Brook Lopez. And it's Young in at the power forward position. Guys, I'm not sure there's a better star player who's a better fit for his team's philosophy than James Harden. Clark reflects the Rocket system perfectly.
I don't think you're wrong on that, Kevin. I mean, the Rockets, an analytically minded team. They love layups, free throws, and threes. Harden can get all of those done.
Brooklyn with the ball, outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Chicago.
And it wasn't just about the bad shooting. It was really more so about the bad offense. They just didn't execute well. The screens weren't there. The spacing was poor, and thusly the defeat.
Well, you've laid out a couple of the details that lead to good offense, or bad if you don't execute them. Shooting is just a byproduct of not screening well and not moving the ball or players well. They didn't execute anything on the offensive end.
Now, here is Lawson. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Denver. Ariza with the bucket.
A good open look, and he splashes home the three.
And now, just over a minute played here in the first. Larkin kicks to Johnson. Fade away. That is good. And it's the Rockets with the ball. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Nuggets.
You know what? A lot of three-pointers, but for me, more so, it was the shot selection on those three-pointers. I just felt like they were just too trigger-happy from downtown.
You know, Greg, sometimes you're able to shoot your way out of a slump, but they just kept making things worse. Sometimes the harder you try, the worse it gets.
How about 3 or 4 from the floor to start? That's always a good sign.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Kevin, I had a chance to talk with head coach Lionel Hollins. They are going up against arguably the toughest center the NBA has to offer in Dwight Howard. One problem that Howard poses is his ability to send shots away on the defensive end. He told his players to be fearless and not think twice about taking shots, saying, a lot of the D Howard plays is mental. He just has shooters second-guessing. He might have them third-guessing, guys.
And thank you for that, Doris. Nets were the hottest team and story a few years back, certainly, but last season they were put up for sale, surprisingly to some, Clark, midway through the year.
Yeah, that was odd timing given the new arena and rebranding. I mean, you would think after all that effort to rebuild the team, you would see it through.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Out of bounds, Nets ball as Brooklyn keeps possession. Lopez a screen. Ellington kicks to Lopez. Rebounded by Ty Lawson.
And for the Nets being put up for sale, a big part of it was they were a team that was supposed to compete for titles. And since the move to Brooklyn, they have had trouble going deep in the playoff.
Now here's Harden. Ariza has the open look. Here's Jones from outside the arc. That's good from Ariza on the assist by Jones. 6 points for Trevor Ariza.
You know, maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot the D can afford to give him.
And you know, with Brooklyn, I don't think anybody wants to take over a team in a rebuild mode. I mean, that's what the Nets seem to be looking at for the next few seasons. They had their shot, went all in with some of their decisions, unfortunately came up short. That is up-tempo basketball at its best. So much easier to operate in the open court when a steal triggers the break.
And really, basketball is about rhythm, and that allows your offense to flow better. Now let's see if they can build on it and keep this lead.
Now here's Lopez. 26 points for him last game against Chicago.
Yeah, but Kevin, a lot of those points came at the line. I mean, he was aggressive to attack the D, not settling, and really did a good job of cashing in on those free throws.
And Brooklyn making a change here. Bargnani has checked in for Lopez. Thomas Robinson comes in for Young. Bogdanovich has checked in for Wayne Ellington. And it's Markel Brown in for Larkin. Harden, no good. The Nets have gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. Brown the pass to Johnson. 1:39 left in the first quarter. And that one's good. Robinson's got his first bucket of the night.
The easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce pass.
And I feel like there's a reason Joe Johnson has gotten a number of astronomical contracts. It's because he does everything for you. He's like one of those items you buy that touts everything you need, nothing you don't. Well, to me, that's Joe Johnson.
It's Harden with the drive. Robinson pulls it in.
You rarely see him missing dunks, but the defender was right in his face on that one, and it threw him off just enough.
Johnson kicks to Bargnani. And there's the 3-second violation.
Clark, when you take a look at Joe Johnson, and if you were on a good team, a team that was contending for a championship, where ideally would you like him to be? Where would you slot him?
I'd put him in that first or second scoring role because he's so good and scores so effortlessly. And at some point, I think he's going to hoist that Larry O'Brien trophy.
Now, here's Lawson. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. That's good.
And really, he came into the game with that long-range shot looking great. Boy, he could wind up with a crazy number of threes today.
Here's Bogdanovich, trailing by 2. The feed now to Brown. Six on the shot clock. To the wing on the left. Here's Bargnani. Jump shot is good. The Rockets have gone just a shade under 50% from the field. 5 of 11. Harden outside. Screen by Howard. Fires from the wing. It's a... And Dwight Howard, a lightning rod figure around the league, subject to a lot of criticism, but he said...
Basketball. This is my passion, you know.
It's an interesting concept that Dwight has to take something very seriously in order to have fun. He does say he has a burning passion to win a championship. He's been in the finals, and this is a guy that's got still a lot to shoot for, he feels, in his career.
It's a great point, Kevin. And the challenge for Dwight is how to balance how serious he is and how passionate he is with having that fun on the court that he's after.
And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. Let's quickly break down the game we've seen so far from the Rockets, guys.
I tell you what, the scoring has come in threes for the most part here so far.
Every time down the floor, it seems they're knocking down the triple.
Ariza and Jones at the small and power forward. Lawson out there with Harden. And it's Howard in at the 5 down low. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Rockets. Well, looking back on last season, you didn't know where the Rockets would end up in terms of seeding in the playoffs. Ended up with the 2 seed because they won the Southwest Division. And as it turned out, everything worked out very well for them.
It really did, and had a divisional matchup in that first round against the Mavs. But the Rockets took care of business in that series and would advance.
Picked by Bargnani. Here's Larkin. Lawson defending. Brown kicks to Bargnani. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Houston in the lead. Kicks it out to Jones. The shot by Ariza. Here's Howard. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. Howard's got his first basket.
In that tight, with that much of an advantage height-wise, there's just not a lot the defense can do.
Here's Lopez, and it's sent back by Howard. The 3 ball. Up again. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And it's a 5-point Houston lead. And a chance now to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Rockets.
You know, they've done a great job of getting a hand up on shooters. Actually have gotten a lot of blocks as well, solidifying that defensive effort.
And it doesn't look like they'll be giving up on any plays tonight either. Their offensive rebounding has also been equally as impressive.
It's stolen by Brown. And now Young running the floor. Yeah.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Pia.
I tell you what, did he take off on that one? Not many players can elevate it and literally fly. What a special talent, and it's plays like that that remind me just how amazing these athletes are in the NBA.
Here's Larkin, Lawson defending. Lopez a screen. Here's Larkin, and it's sent back by Howard. Harden outside. Lawson outside. Here's Ariza. That is in there. Lawson with the assist. Lawson's got 3 assists now in this one.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
You know, Clark, the one thing you can say about Ty Lawson is his awareness around the floor. He's just ubiquitous, and his court vision is incredible.
Excellent peripheral vision. He averaged almost 10 assists a game last season. That's the best year of his career thus far.
Here's Harden on the wing. 11 points in the game. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Elbow shot. Here's Howard. Kicks it out to Ariza. And that basket pushes the lead to double digits. Ariza's got 5 points in the quarter.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall. And for Ty Lawson, playmaking isn't a concern. He's got that. His shooting accuracy, though, seems to drop every year. In fact, the last 2 years have been the worst of his career.
A big group substitution here for Brooklyn. Robinson's checked in for Bargnani. Johnson comes in for Young. Bogdanovich is checked in for Brown. And Ellington is subbed in for Shane Larkin.
That's what I call a captivating move there. He absolutely incinerated the D with that one. Yeah, you know, going back to Lawson's declining shooting percentage, really no apparent reason for it. Last year he launched the fewest threes in his past 4 seasons, but he still couldn't find a rhythm, and it really hurt his team down the stretch.
The 3 from Harden. No good. So Brooklyn will take it the other way. Johnson dishes to Ellington. 1:16 left to play in the first half. It'll go. The Rocket lead is cut to just 5 points on the basket from Bogdanovich.
The defender there in the neighborhood, but not quite close enough. Good shot.
Lopez with the block. In transition, here come the Nets. Stolen by Harden. And here we go. Harden heading to the hoop. Now that's how to finish the break. Throw down with force.
And that's the kind of play you just do not want to give up defensively. You lose the possession and give up a quick 2 at the other end. That's losing basketball.
Especially when you can't afford to give up any buckets. That's a nice lead now. High-quality shot, just a little off there with the release.
And, Greg, that has him S-H-H-E, shaking his head. Tough miss that time.
Clark. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and gameplay. There's a screen by Robinson. Ellington the pass to Johnson. Knocks down the step back Jay. Johnson's got 4 this quarter.
And you can tell the defender not anticipating the step back. He was headed in the opposite direction.
Harden outside. Lawson outside. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. 6 points for Lawson.
That was some slick passing from Harden on that one.
And that does it for the first half of play. Rockets lead by 11. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Gentlemen, here with Joe Johnson.